that guy?
We are back for another monstrous episode 122. It's been a big day of fighting, Makeo Shark, and we've had an even bigger day of guesting.
Huge day today, mate. Islam Makhachev retained his title, UFC 302. We're going to get into it. We've got the human highlight reel, Harry Webb, coming up. It's a tell-all, warts and all.
We don't get the warts, do we?
We don't
get the warts, maybe not the all.
It's an exclusive tell-all coming up. It's going to be exciting, Matty. I'm excited. Let's just get into it.
I want to cheers and a sip, Makeo Shark.
Cheers and a sip, Matty.
Going to cheers it and then sip it.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Welcome back to Who the Fuck Are These Guys? How are you, Makeo Shark?
I'm good, Matty. I'm feeling good, mate. We are back again in the studio.
Bright lights, we said.
The
They feel
bright lights.
bright here today.
The big city. It's been a big day, mate.
It's been a shocking day, I reckon.
Shit card, mate. UFC 302, Matty. We're going to get into it big time today. We're going to go real warts and all, recap of what happened today. Islam Makhachev.
Makhachev.
He retained.
It's a more fun name to say.
Makhachev. Got a bit of phlegm there, actually. But no, look, it's going to be a big app. I tell you what, we're going to go through 302. Dustin didn't get the job done.
Was there a finish on the card?
Mate, it was hard work at some points. There was 2 finishes, I think. The rest of them were all decisions. So,
oh, boy.
Not what you want, really, on a pay-per-view card. But
There was a couple of plotters on there, too. We'll talk about the plotters.
I'm going to call it later on. We're going to get into it. Probably the worst fight ever on a UFC pay-per-view
That's
ever.
a great stay tuned, I reckon.
We're going to get into that. Stuck right into it, Matty.
But the acid test today, though, we've got a great guest with some real momentum and some dark clouds hanging around him, I reckon. There's things happening in this young man's life, Makeo Shark. There's gym changes, there's federation changes, there's career things happening. There's all sorts of...
There's hellfire and brimstone down in Ballarat. Heaps happening.
Mark Calloway of the under...
It's out there, though. Harry Webb coming up any minute now. Human highlight reel. Have we had a bloke on the pod with a nickname like that before?
I don't think so. We've had the Black Jag. We've had Big Sexberg Lettuce.
We've had the Head Splitter.
We've had Head Splitter. Is he fighting ever again?
He's going to fight.
Okay,
But
yes. No, great nickname.
It's a good nickname. It's up there. So we're going
I'd
to
like to ask him too if he gave that to himself or if it was given because of his highlights.
We'll get into that. Because you probably can't. You can't call yourself the human highlight reel,
Well,
can
I played
you?
football with a bloke who's 43 and calls himself Wizard.
But he's a fucking stinker, isn't he? Can't call yourself the Wizard. You can't call yourself the Maestro.
No.
You can't call yourself the human highlight reel.
Is that off Seinfeld, the Maestro?
The Maestro, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's doing the
all
correct
that shit,
Makeo Shark.
absolutely.
So we're very excited, actually, though. We've been
No,
told.
it's huge, mate. There's all sorts of drama. It's like WCW, NWO, WWF.
We love it.
Monday Night Wars.
We live for
happening again in Aussie MMA. Hex, Eternal. There's blokes jumping ship. There's fights happening. There's blokes pulling out. There's all sorts of stuff going on every single week at the moment. It's almost like the young and the restless, bold and the beautiful sort of stuff at the moment.
We live for drama, mate.
We live for drama. On
This podcast survives off drama.
There could be so much dirt dished today, there'll be NDA signed.
Are we going to go hard and ask questions, or are we going to be nice and just be lovely? What do you reckon?
No, we're going to dig in.
Let's because he's not come in yet, right?
Let's tell you what.
Let's tell the listeners what we're going to do before we do it. Are we going to go hard?
Delgados don't pay for fucking pussyfooting around, do they?
No, we should go harder. We're
We're going to dig deep.
Hard hitters.
We're going to fucking hit him hard.
Yeah, I
it's
think
coming up right now.
Get into it, mate.
Harry Webb. Alrighty, who the fuck is? We're here again today with Australia's #1 lightweight prospect. It is the human highlight reel. It's Harry Webb. How are you, brother?
Boys, how we going? We're pumped.
We are pumped.
Appreciate him coming. 2-hour drive. He's coming to see us.
Yeah, shout out on a Sunday, Arvo, all the way from Ballarat.
Unbelievable.
Had to get it done for Who the Fuck Is.
Big effort.
We've been, I don't know if he knows, but I think we've got a mutual connection too. Danny Chop Chop from the barber shop
King
down there.
Crown, shout out
Mate,
King Crown Barbershop.
he has been hitting me up for months, even I would say years, saying get him on the pod.
Get the
and now
highlight
you're
reel.
here, mate. So it's good to have you. He's a great barber.
Yeah, he
Danny.
is.
You can tell. Have a look at that.
I'm actually
Beautiful.
probably due for a
You can
fade,
tell-
but-
You can tell he's done a good job of me.
That's a great job on you.
yeah, he's lowered the ears nicely there, mate.
No, he sings your praises, mate. He loves you. So we're pumped to have him on, aren't we?
Mate, how was traffic?
Yeah, it was actually pretty good. Like, I'm
worst?
surprised for Sunday Arvo, but yeah, cruisy drive straight up the freeway.
Love
Bit of
that.
Who the Fuck Is on the way down.
Did you
So,
listen to it, did you?
Oh yeah, one of the old ones, the Volk one. It's
God.
good.
I know.
We always panic when people go back because some of the stuff we say is sort of outrageous.
We don't want people listening. It's ridiculous. But, mate, yeah, it's as I said, talk of the town. A lot been happening in Aussie MMA at the moment. It is quite it's almost like a Days of Our Lives, sort of Bold and the Beautiful setup. There's blokes jumping ship left and right. There's all sorts happening. Tell us a bit about your sort of circumstance. Obviously, Hex champion, have just recently announced you now Eternal exclusivity.
Yeah.
How's that all gone down, mate? How you feeling?
Yeah, like it's a good time to be an Aussie MMA fan, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So won the title for Hex in my last fight in March. And so then we were looking for a fight for June 14th. Things hadn't eventuated. You know, we pretty much looked at every lightweight in the country that we could, you know, hadn't turned down a fight. And then we sort of had to start looking outside the box. And, you know, so we thought, well, what's the biggest fight that we can make at this stage? And it was, you know, probably me versus Quillen Selke to be the biggest fight in the in Australian lightweight division for sure. So put the feelers out there for that one. I started working with Daniel Maudsley from Chosen Advisory.
Shout them out. We like the boys.
Shout out.
Timmy, Big Timmy. We want fucking Max Holloway on the pod, please, mate. All right, we're trying.
You do a good little Max.
We get on with Tim. He's quite a nice fella, and so's Daniel.
They're definitely good blokes. Yeah. So they've helped me out with this deal that I've just signed with Eternal. So we reached out to them, found out that Quillen, he's off to Contender Series. So, you know, good on him, and he's deserving of that shot, 100%. So, and it'd be good to see him get in there. But that, you know, that leaves the door open for a vacant title in the lightweight division. And they've written me up an offer that I couldn't turn down. Sort of gave Hex every opportunity to get me an opponent. Left it right up to 3 weeks out, you know. The work that we put in for camps, it's a lot. So
of course,
and preparing for a championship fight, you know, 5-minute rounds, it's a lot of work that goes into it. So we thought, you know, if we can't get an opponent with 10 weeks out, like who's going to take the fight on 3? So
exactly,
definitely,
you know. So that was a decision we had to make. Pulled the pin and I let Hex know and just said, like, you know, thanks for everything at this stage. I just have to do what's best for my career. Thanks for the opportunities. It's nothing personal. And so made the decision, signed on the dotted line, and now I'm scheduled to fight the winner of Kappa versus Martinez in August, the weekend of UFC 305. So
beautiful,
absolutely massive.
Definitely
couldn't turn that down.
We'll be over there. We'll fucking be coming to that. Don't worry about that.
The last one, it was a huge crowd at that.
Last year in Perth when Astro Boy, our man the Omelette, beat that bloke from fucking wherever he's from. Huge, mate. Huge.
Does his research to make.
I shipped him in from somewhere. I don't know where he was.
And CVOC got signed on the night. That night.
They were there. They were there. Our man Mickey Maynard, Sean Shelby, they were all there.
Our man, you reckon?
The ink was still wet when they. They're our man.
Yeah.
They are our man. So that's huge.
It's huge, mate.
There's no more eyeballs in Aussie MMA than the UFC weekend, wherever it is, Sydney, Perth, whatever. Mate, great card to get on.
Yeah.
When you talk about looking like can't find an opponent, that must be frustrating because we've had happens a lot in boxing. We've had a lot of boxers on here and they're like, we want to fight. No one wants to fight. Is it there's no one that actually wants to fight you, or there's actually you've beaten everyone, or like how do you get to a spot where it's, you know, you can't find someone to actually have a fight with? That must be so frustrating because that's all you want to do to show what you can do and then get into the bigger leagues. Like,
100%. Like, but for me, I've experienced this like my whole career since an amateur. So after my first amateur fight was 1-0. I went a whole year and we had back-to-back. I think I did 4 camps in a row, pull-outs after pull-outs. And then, you know, like as an amateur though, you sort of expect it a little bit more. People aren't taking it as seriously. They don't want to take tough fights. A 1-0, you know, who wants to fight a 1-0 guy that's actually good?
Really nothing to be gained, is it?
So I'm used to it, but it's really frustrating. Obviously, I want to stay active, and it's a bit of both, like what you said. It can be guys unavailable, booked up. There's a lot of lightweights that are signed exclusively to Eternal. So some fights to be had over there. It just sort of, I think just. Also, there's a lot of pussies in this sport, unfortunately.
Let's call them out. Name them.
All right.
Top 5 pussies in Australian MMA right now.
I will say one.
All right.
Let's do it.
Antonio Caruso, he's a pussy straight up. Like,
is that the Spartan?
That's a Spartan.
Here we go. You've heard it here first. Pussy.
Pussy. Like, he's saying he wants to fight in June. He's saying he wants to get onto UFC 305. I'm like, brother, I'm free.
We're right here, baby.
I've called you out publicly. Let's do it. And he's like, asking for some ridiculous purse. Like,
Yeah.
that's how to say no
Convenient.
without saying no.
So
in my opinion.
if he
So-
gets the purse, it's like, well, if I lose,
Convenient.
I've been paid well, so I'm happy. But like I would think
pussy call.
anyone that's in your position and what you guys do and what the women do as well, like opportunities, what basically helps careers in this sport. So if you're out there calling out saying, I want to fight, surely someone should be out there putting their hand up to at least back themselves in, because you'll either find out if you're good enough to beat you and be in the sport, and if you're not, well, that's good. Go off and do a job. Or,
Like, in my last fight, I was 3-0, and I
Yep.
took on the number one pound for pound in
There
the
you
country,
go.
who's 9-1.
Yes.
On paper, like that fight makes no sense in
Most
my
blokes
opinion.
don't do it in this country.
But like, in my opinion, you should be able to prove that you're worthy of getting to the UFC on the regional scene. Like, I wouldn't want to pad my record, get there, and just get smoked.
Well, yeah.
Well, what's the point of that?
Obviously, we're not fighters. We're a couple of losers on a podcast. But the tank is pretty shallow, really, overall in Australian
speak very
MMA.
highly of us.
So if you're going to duck blokes in Australia,
Yeah.
what hope have you got going on with the UFC? You don't,
Yeah.
do you?
No, you
You
don't.
can't be ducking blokes. You just got to fight anyone that will sign on the dotted line.
That's right. You just got to take the opportunities you get, and that's another thing. Like, fighting for a title in one of the most prestigious promotions in the country. You know, like that's a big opportunity in itself. And if you want to get noticed and you want to get to the UFC, like what better way to do it than win a title on one of those two promotions? So
And we're big Hex guys. We love Hex down here. We go to the events down. Melbourne boys. We get around them. We've had a lot of their guys on. Jacob as well. But you mentioned that Eternal have a lot of contracted dudes as well. And they, as I said with Astro Boy, they can fly people in from around the world. So even if you can't get a fight in Australia, you might be able to get someone
some international.
from international. Is that another thing that probably drew you to them? Like no matter what, they'll guarantee you an opponent?
yeah, that's right. So a part of honestly, going back maybe a year or so ago, I was like, oh, I'll never sign an exclusive contract to a promotion, you know. I used to think that it would just shut the door on a bunch of opportunities, like, because now you got Hex, Beatdown, Eternal, like you got a lot of promotions, lots of fights to be had. But when they come to me with this, they've got to offer me 5 fights in the 12 months. So, no matter what, like
Keep me active.
They're gonna keep me active, and look, the goal is to not even have 5 more fights in Australia. Like I've got word from the UFC that I'm a couple more away. So
Here we go. We like this.
So
We love that.
we love this. We love this.
I've talked about it before on here a few times prior to yourself coming on about these exclusive contracts that the local promotions. See, I'm more of a everyone should get along kind of guy. I think for the betterment of yourself and other athletes and the men and women out there that are trying to make the UFC, these exclusive contracts aren't always the best for me. And I'm not from that side because I just want to see people fight and get fights.
People succeed is what you want.
And then you want to see them in the UFC and Ballarat, wherever it may be. Is that something that is, I guess, as an athlete, hard to, as you said, you never wanted to sign one, but you've now gone across and had to do something like, is that tough as a fighter trying to make those decisions? I guess you've got the boys in from Chosen's advisory to help you along with that.
Yeah.
How hard is it to try and train, work, and then juggle your whole career and where you go at a young age and sort of deal with all that?
for sure, that's why it's important to have good people around you. Like my coach John, he's been advising me my whole career, and he knows the game, the ins and outs of the game. So. And then also, now that I started working with Daniel and Tim from Chosen, like that's been massive for me. And you know, they're gonna know what's in my best interest, and because what's good for me is good for them also, obviously, you know. So but it wasn't an easy decision to make. I sat on that contract for about 2 weeks before signing it. You know, like I had set in my mind that I was fighting June 14th.
Yeah.
Since the last show, like that. After that fight, I said on the night in a couple of interviews, you know, I'll be getting ready for June 14th for Hex.
Yep.
I sold about 5 tables already, so you know, like,
It'll still be a good night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whoever
And
bought
you
those
spoke
tickets.
off air, you've played some footy before. You must have felt almost like you're leaving a football club.
Yeah,
You know, when people ring you up in the off-season, come and play, you know, and you feel loyal. But
you don't want to.
sometimes you have to just look after yourself.
That's right,
Because at the
like-
end of the day, you're looking at bigger things, aren't you?
you got to be selfish sometimes, and you got to make the decisions that's going to be
Mate,
best
you've
for
only
your
got
career.
limited time. You're only 24, but still, you don't owe people anything at this stage of your career, do you? It's about everyone working together for you to make your final goal.
Yeah.
And if they can't get you fights, then you got to look after yourself.
Yeah, I hate that there's even this whole promotion war going on at the moment, to be honest. Like, it'd be good if everyone could just fight wherever, fight whoever.
It reminds me a lot of when this man Nash and this man Hall defected over to the WCW back in 1996. It was big business. It's kind of like it's recreating itself.
He's 24 too. So
He probably doesn't know who Kevin Nash is and Scott Hall is.
I don't, I'm sorry.
Showing my age here, but
I'm sorry.
this man Hall and this man Nash, this man Hall, they jumped ship from the World Wrestling Federation over to the WCW and just blew the whole industry apart. It's a similar sort of thing. What's happening with yourself now? Justin Van Heerden's done it. There's been other blokes that have jumped ship recently as well. It shouldn't really come down to two promotions warring.
No.
Because it's about the fighters at the end of the day, and we're a small part of the world.
Yeah.
Should be everyone working together.
It's kind of like, as much as it sucks, but it is also good for like the sport in terms of like people being excited about things that's
100%.
happening, all the controversy and
It's good for
whatnot.
social medias and podcasts.
Yeah, that's right. Like you get on there, you say, oh, this guy's fighting for Hex now, this guy's fighting for Eternal. It's like, oh shit, you know, everyone's going crazy over it, which is cool. Like I think there's a lot of interest in Australian MMA at the moment, which is obviously good for us. And yeah.
When you say you get on, you say that, do people any negative comments, and have you had to deal with any of that sort of stuff at a young age yet? And how do you think you would? Because I'd be shocking, I think, Makeo. If this podcast gets much bigger and we start, I always bite at the knee. I'm a
We
biter.
copped a couple of negative comments on our Volk interview.
Yeah.
A few people on Reddit are like, can these two hosts suck him off anymore? I'm like, of course we're sucking him off.
But I go straight in, like I type and don't think.
I'm like-
I'd be a shocking, really famous person.
Yeah, I'd be bad at it. I read comments,
Yeah,
mate.
I keep
Have you thought
receipts
about how you'd
sometimes.
be with that? Like,
I've had it a couple of times. Like, a couple of years ago, I had we did like a Shark Tank video where like Shark Tank, like a
From
spider, or like
spiders from
training.
freestyle
Yeah,
and
yeah.
CKBs,
Yeah, so-
yep.
We used to call it Fight Gone Bad,
okay.
and then in the algorithm, it's like taken off, and someone's seen it in America, and they're like thinking it's like Fight Gone Bad, like clickbait.
Yeah.
So this video has gotten like 5 million views or something crazy like that.
Of you in training.
And me getting smashed in training. And then I got all these people getting on there saying, oh, fucking this guy sucks at this, blah, blah. So I've experienced a bit of it.
Yeah.
And then like on TikToks, sometimes they go like you get a couple of thousand views or whatever.
Yeah.
You get these random people commenting on there like no KO power or just shit like that.
Yeah, right.
So sometimes I just fucking take receipts, and it's good because you can reply to the comments with videos.
Definitely.
But yeah, like I try and take it with a grain of salt when you see shit
You
like
have to,
that, because
though.
like you might get like 50 good comments and one bad one, and the bad one's always the one that sticks out to you.
It's always a cocksucker anyway.
It's always some fuckhead just like with a fake name or some shit. It's like
exactly.
Or
doesn't
me
mean
just
anything.
keep on worrying. Back in the 90s.
You used to clip Andrew Bogut back on Twitter a few years
did.
back. Did he ever come back at you?
No, he did just block me.
Yeah, smart.
Bogey man. Sitting in his $100 million two-rack mansion, he'd be really...
I got blocked by Tom Sandoval on Vanderpump Rules. You ever watch that?
nah.
Good. Don't watch
You're
it.
talking in riddles to the poor fellow, mate. You're
trash.
showing your age.
Absolute trash.
I want to know how you get into... I mean, you're obviously down Ballarat way, be a strong cricket, footy culture, probably rugby, all that stuff.
Yep.
And then, you come through school and everyone always just gets grown up together. How did you break away from the pack? Did you see a fight? Did you see something that made you want to do it? Or was it you just inclined that way?
Nah, so I when I was a kid, I did karate.
Okay.
So I sort of had a background in martial
Yeah.
arts. I did that for about 10 years. And then when I went to high school, that's when I sort of started doing the more social thing and just playing footy. Like I love footy and that.
Yeah.
Probably had a dream of being an AFL player at one stage,
Who'd you go
like Bulldogs.
It's all right.
Not too bad. But then I did that for a couple of years, and I was all right at it, but I was no fucking Dustin Martin or something, you know. So I just remember one time at footy training, pre-season, I just kept fucking up every single kick, and I was like, oh, I'm fucking sick of this. Like, I just want to do something I'm good at. And I was like, what was I good at? I was pretty good at karate, to be fair. Like, won a couple of Australian titles and whatnot. And I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll go do like Muay Thai or MMA or something like that. One of my friends was doing Muay Thai at the time in Bacchus Marsh, and went and did a couple of sessions with him, enjoyed it, but was still playing footy and whatnot. And then it wasn't until one of my mates, Bailey, who he still trains with me now, he was like big into UFC. I never even watched UFC or anything growing up. Might have played the video games a little bit here and there with my dad.
Yep.
But he showed me Conor McGregor, and he's like, oh, this guy's sick. Like, I think it was around the time when he was fighting Mendez or just before
on
the
the
Aldo.
come up.
Yeah, it was like just on the come up. That was when I sort of got into it. And anyway, went home, got on YouTube, Conor McGregor highlights. I'm like, oh, this guy's sick. Like, I want to learn how to fight for sure. And then I messaged my mate Bailey. I was like, oh, we got to start MMA.
How good's that?
So signed up at Infinite, only gym in Ballarat. And funny story, we used to go after school. So I was 16 when I started training MMA. And we had like these Sting bag mitts. They were our first gloves, like $40 gloves, like fuck all padding.
Yeah.
We used to wait at school because we had a couple of hours to kill between school and training. So we used to go like out the back behind the buildings, just put this fucking bag mitts on and just punch on at the back. And then, catch a bus training. And for the first like 2 years, I wasn't really taking it seriously, just training, playing footy.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I was 18 when I got my license, because I grew up in Ballarat, which is about half an hour out from Ballarat. Got my license, and that's when I started training every day. And
Probably at that stage wouldn't even think it's possibly like a career path.
Nah, it wasn't. So it was weird. Like I pretty much jumped straight in the deep end. Like when I started, I was like, oh, this is sick. I want to be a fucking beast. And I left school to go do this MMA academy.
Yeah.
And like, I don't want to shit on it, but it was definitely not what it was made out to be, right? It was meant to be like Mark Hunt's MMA academy. I think we met Mark Hunt once.
Oh, God.
The bridge.
Don't upset Mark Hunt, mate. He'll come after us.
Come back to my trolling. I trolled Mark Hunt.
He did,
I wrote to him and
Have
he
you seen his
complained
work? Oh, my, he goes off on fucking...
Because he came out and said before that Lesnar fight, I don't care if he does steroids. And then he lost to him, and then he's in that hole.
Yeah.
And I went and just said, I went and screenshot and sent it to him. I said, remember you? And then, he wanted to murder me.
He goes
and
hard on socials.
He would murder me, I think.
Yeah.
He's frightening.
Big Mark.
At least you met him once.
Met him once.
There you go.
So I did that MMA academy, and it was pretty cool though. It was like we went to Melbourne and used to go train in the morning with a few guys. Travis Grubb, Kit Campbell used to coach that. And we just go do it was like a diploma we did in the afternoon. So I didn't get heaps out of it in terms of the training. Like we used to sort of just fuck around and, wasn't until I went back to Infinite fully that I started to, actually take it seriously. But
it's amazing, like, obviously when you started, what was that, like 2015, 16?
Yeah, 2016.
In that time to now, how massive Aussie MMA's gotten and how many blokes there are now coming up already in the UFC. And mate, as you said, the lower ranks are stacked with dudes that are knocking the door down.
Yeah.
The path from Australia isn't so crazy anymore. Like, it's almost like an automatic thing. Bang, just get them in the UFC.
Yeah, there's heaps of I feel like the level in Australia is really high as well. And like you said, 2016, I reckon that was probably only just when this. Yeah, but that was there was barely an amateur scene back before that. And I think Jack Jenkins started fighting pro around maybe just before that, because I used to go to Hex and watch him because he's back smash boy from Ballarat.
And what about Jimmy Crute too? Probably would have been
yeah,
man, the Crudey Pie. Please, where are you, Jim? We love you.
Yeah, I used to go watch the boys at Hex, and Jack, he didn't even have an amateur fight. It's the sport's grown heaps in Australia now. I feel like there's a lot of amateur guys that would give the pros some troubles. Like, I was, people were surprised when I had my pro debut, and they're like, oh, it looks like he's had 10 pro fights. I'm like, well, amateur now is so high, the level is so high at the top, the top guys in amateur, I'm talking, obviously you still get the guys that are 1-2 fights in, it's still early days, but there's the level is just growing. Now you're seeing the guys like myself, 3-4-0, that are fighting the guys that have had 10 pro fights and beaten them. You got, George Mango's fighting for the belt against Van Heerden. He's 3-0, and that's crazy. Van Heerden's had how many fights?
Plenty.
15, something like that.
No, it's a sick fight too.
And it's good matchup. Yeah, I'm actually excited for that one too.
You're going to be down for that, Hex? What is it? You might not be allowed in the door, actually. Yeah, she was going to say you're going to be there, but
I'll watch the stream maybe.
They might have a fighter on the door. Do not let this man enter. But fuck.
So was it when you left? Was it okay, or were they
Oh, look, I tried to do the right thing and let them know personally, and spoke to Jacob and said, look, this is what I got to do. This is what I've been offered.
Yes.
It's nothing personal. Thanks for everything. You guys have given me good opportunities up to this point.
Yeah.
But this is what I feel is best for my career at this stage. Obviously I was disappointed. I didn't even want to have that phone call. Hate making calls like that. But
of course.
It's what it's what you got to do.
At least you made the call though.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't want him to just find out from somebody else.
Correct.
It is what it is, man.
It happens in life, right? You do it when you leave a workplace, but I think it shows who you are as a person to pick the phone up, because a lot of people take the easy out, right?
Yeah.
And deal with what's going to come later, because it's whatever. So at least you've done that, and you can look yourself in the mirror with that stuff. I think that's.
I always think I relate it to footy, when footy supporters are a bit dumb as a collective, but there'll be a bloke that leaves your team in free agency and then you play him the next year, everyone boos, you boo him. But then it's like your own team. You've got 3 or 4 players on your own team that you love that you've got from free agency yourself. So you can't love it here and then boo there.
Yeah.
So end of the day, Hex, Eternal, they both benefit either way. So I can't see why you'd have bad blood.
Yeah, that's right. And like, there's been a lot of guys that have come over from Eternal to Hex. Like I did myself. I had my debut on Eternal. Went to Hex.
Yeah.
You know? I don't
They've
think
had Cody Haddon jump across. They've had Justin Van Heerden. You can't have it both ways.
At the end of the day, I think fighters are just taking the opportunities, the best opportunities for themselves. Like that's what I think it is at the end of the day. And I don't think any promotion or promoters should get angry for someone for doing that.
Yeah. Now, he's a young fella, Makeo, Shark. We've all been 24, and this always freaks me out about fighters, right? Because the dedication that you have to put in, and you're at an age where all your mates, you know, going probably Europe and doing gap years and doing all this shit. And
drinking heaps of piss.
Yeah, that's right. Like, you're seeing a lot of stuff on Insta, all this stuff. How hard is it? I guess you've obviously got to, you know where you want to go. And you know what you have to do to get there, but it must be hard as a young man, and when women, same young women, in that position because of just the FOMO, like fear of missing out? Or is it you don't even care about that because you're so driven in what you want to do? Because I personally would freak.
Not anymore. Like I don't get any FOMO at all from seeing people going out and getting drunk and whatnot. Like I used to. It was probably harder when I was like 18. This is back when I was not taking it as seriously or when I was an amateur.
You just turned 18.
Yeah, like, you know,
just
fresh
become,
18.
of course.
I was kind of lucky that I got all my partying done when I was, 15 to 15
Country
to 18.
towns.
Yeah, these new age blokes are like, by the time they're 24, they're like, I'm tapped out.
I'm over it.
They've been rooting since they were 12. It's all good.
So, there's not much else to do out in Ballarat.
Unbelievable.
But yeah, no, like once you've got your goals and stuff, it's like I'd rather be in bed at 9 o'clock on a Saturday and not wake up feeling hungover, you know.
And it's got to help that you now clearly see a path forward, like where you want to go.
For sure.
So you don't have to worry about, you're not going to fucking Revolver at 6 a.m.
Yeah, that's
like,
right.
you're not just, it's not some pipe dream now, is it?
Nah.
You're talking to bloody Tim Simpson where we're one fight away from a contender series.
Yeah, and for me, I don't know, I love training. I love the lifestyle, the dieting. I like it all, you know. Like I eat clean pretty much all year round. I barely drink anymore at all. Like I don't even think I've been drunk this year. So
only Delgado.
Shout out Delgado. Yeah, I had to try the Delgado.
You wouldn't love that.
Even sober blokes drink this.
Yeah, that's right.
Delicious.
So yeah, you know, like it's just more of a lifestyle for me at this point.
Definitely. And let's talk about it. Obviously, the gym Infinite in Ballarat obviously suffered a fucking horrific incident over the last sort of couple of weeks. Burnt down. Let's talk about how's the gym going? What does it look like? What are we thinking? How long is it going to be before the guys get back up and running? Or can you still... Yeah, what's going on, man?
Yeah,
it's fucking tragic.
Yeah, so it's pretty much fucked. Like, I'll put it that way. It's just, like, we're waiting on the insurance and whatnot, like, to go through the process and assess the damage and how much it's going to be. And but I think the whole gym's damaged, like from smoke damage. It's covered in soot. So I don't think any of the equipment's usable at all. Like, they're pretty much burnt. Like, the whole reception got burnt. And then our gym's sort of like, it's pretty, like, it's sort of small, but it just goes straight down. So I think all the smoke's just gone straight through it. But, you know, like, I go crazy when I don't train for a couple of days. So the first couple of days, like, I'm in the kitchen just like, shadow boxing my jocks. Like, there's nothing else to do. So I didn't really know what to do with myself. And then there's been, thankfully, like, the community's been awesome. There's been a couple of gyms. I'll shout out to D2E and Elements for letting me use their facilities.
Local? I was going to say,
they're
probably
local
not
gyms.
many gyms in Ballarat, but there is a couple.
They're all more just weights gyms and stuff, but they let me use let me use their area. So they had some mats, and I was hitting pads with my coach during the week. So but at this stage, we've also, one of my other sponsors, Cafe Lecker, they've got a spare shop, like there's an empty shop. So we're just setting up some mats that my coach had in storage, and we'll get some work in there. And at this stage, it's a bit up in the air in terms of what's going to happen with the gym. I think they'll end up maybe just buying a new facility, or GoFundMe's doing well. Like, I think we're nearly up to 20 grand. So
shout out to GoFundMe.
We'll stick a link up. Is that still going? Yeah,
it's still going. I think we're up to like 17.5 grand. So
beautiful.
It's been
we'll
going
try and get as much as we can into that.
Will you do better than your David Nayika punches landed that you put?
Yeah, we'll tip a bit
For the
in.
malaria, would you say 5 cents a punch? What was?
Yeah, man, David Naker was fighting for malaria the other week. And
He came out with 5
it
cents.
wasn't my fault, the 5 cents per punch. It's what the internet said.
You were so excited. You go, we're going to
5
do
cents
5
per
cents. And he went, well, I'm doing $1 a punch. And it was very funny.
It wasn't my
How many
fault, man.
punches did he land?
Well, we knocked
It was a
him out.
fourth
early.
round stoppage.
So
Not sure, maybe. I don't know.
we haven't actually backed that up then, have we?
We haven't backed it up, but we will put the link up for the GoFundMe, no doubt, and we'll get
We
the
definitely do
community
that.
around that, and we'll fucking chuck a bit in there. We had a good win today on the dabble.
We did.
We had a good win on the UFC today.
on the multi?
On the multi,
What did you
6-legger.
have?
Jailton Almeida. I had Basil Hafiz. You watched that fight? The Basil Hafiz fight? Mickey Gore?
No, I didn't.
That was a banger. Had a couple. I like betting like one round like at least. So the women's fight always.
Sniff out around, I reckon.
You sniff a one round on a women's fight. You sniff a one round on a Sean Strickland fight. And then we had Islam. So it was a good little win, actually. So
yeah, nice.
we can stick a bit into the GoFundMe.
And speaking of
Yeah, that'd
fights,
be
you've
good,
obviously
thanks.
got one. You said that's booked.
Yeah, so I'll be fighting the winner of Martinez and Wes Kappa.
Is there, you got
That's
a
coming up
preference
a couple of weeks, yeah?
That's next weekend, yeah. I think I don't really have a preference of who I'd fight out of the two of them. I think myself versus Kappa would be more fan-friendly fight. I think we'd have some good exchanges.
I reckon you take care of Kappa.
I think I back myself in both those fights, but you know,
Warwick's in trouble.
they've both got their strengths and their dangers.
When
But
he does like Kappa as he's fighting. That'd throw you. It'd have to throw you if he's coming in.
Do you know Warwick Kappa? I know you're very young, but
no.
do you know Warwick Kappa or not?
You got to know Warwick Kappa.
This is fucked.
tell
We're
me
that
Warwick-
old.
Jesus.
I feel like I should. I
If he
definitely have
Googles
heard
Warwick Kappa, he'll come up with his sex tape, though, which is going to ruin
I was going to
his whole
say,
life.
go home, Google
Warwick Kappa was
sex
Australian
tape.
footballer that used to wear the tightest shorts on earth, kicked 100 goals, took speckies.
Okay.
And then he's become
Self-admin.
become a real. What would you even just a fucking?
Nah, he's a joke. He's a joke.
He's a joke of a
He's
man.
a joke. He's a joke.
I
But
hate talking to young blokes. It makes me feel
I
old.
feel that old. So we were
Yeah,
born in 2000.
99.
99, but late.
Like, yeah, November 99, yeah.
We finished high school in 202, Maker.
Look, we're old.
It's sad.
Doesn't matter how old you are out there. You can have a straight sort of pod, so it's all good.
Get out
Never
there and
give
get
up.
started.
Don't give up on your dreams. But yeah, so Perth, August, Eternal.
Perth,
Let's book that
August.
in. No matter what happens, we're in.
Yes,
Love it.
I accepted a fight in June 22nd on Eternal. Another one that's fallen through. So
Ooh, was it a pussy? Call him out.
he apparently had accepted on Wednesday,
Yeah.
and I said, look, to Maudsley, I said, our training situation's not ideal at the moment. Like we don't even have a gym, so.
yeah.
But I said, look, I'm happy to jump at the opportunity.
Yep.
I'll take it, work with what we got.
Yep.
Find a way. And then next day, apparently he got staff. So
Gee whiz.
Didn't stop Islam.
it didn't stop Islam. It shouldn't have stopped this bloke. But
Yeah, right.
it is what it is. Like I already
It is
had a
what it
great
is.
opportunity in front of me
Yep.
to slot straight into the title shot. So,
I reckon it's almost probably better though, actually.
Yeah.
Because you're in Perth. I think that's going to be a blessing in disguise.
and at least we'll have some sort of training set up by then. Like get a good camp in.
Yeah.
Like I think it's 12 around 12 weeks
It is,
away
I think
from
it's
here.
12
So
weeks. Yep.
yeah, so it's going to be perfect. Like.
How do you deal with pressure? Because that's obviously, you've just moved across.
He deals with it well, I reckon.
Yeah, I was weekend Perth. Like there's a lot of people. A lot of the big wigs will be there. Is that something you just are good with? Obviously, everyone has nerves. How are you going to? Do you think deal with that? Because I would see that's a huge opportunity, Makeo show. We've seen how good that event was last time. It's
I think
coming out party kind of thing.
I think for me, the bigger the
Yep.
stage, like the better I perform.
Yeah, right.
Like
That's
I've
a
had
good trait to have.
Yeah, I like the fights that I've been more nervous for. I think have been like my best performances. There was probably I reckon my toughest fight was my last amateur fight because I was supposed to be fighting pro that night, and then my opponent pulled out the 1 week before he got injured, and then it was like. Amateur steps in because I was like, I'll take anything at this point. The only thing they could find was an amateur. And like, all right, I'll have one more amateur fight. This guy was only 2-0. And then it was like, I built up the expectation. I was like, fuck, I got to smoke this guy. I'm supposed to be fighting pro. I'm fighting a 2-0 amateur. And I guess it is, in a way, it's a different pressure, but it was more like I was trying to G myself up more to be like nervous for it. Because I just was like, oh, this should be easy work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I get out there and it's a tougher fight than I thought.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then like, but I think the fights where I've been like, fuck, like this guy's good. I I may or may not win. I'm
Like Beata, you would have, I'm
like
sure,
Beata, I'm
win
like,
of
this
that
guy's
fight.
a fucking 9-1.
Yeah,
Like,
and he's so tall.
He's 6'10", and I'm like 5'4".
Probably teaches a good lesson, though, not to look ahead of people.
Yeah,
At
100%.
an early part of your career, which is probably
Yeah.
you can use your whole time now.
And I think even my pro debut, like I was fighting Ollie Schmidt, who's from kickboxing. Like he was like I think I was actually brought into that fight to lose. And it was like, yeah, fighting in Queensland, never fought in 4-ounce gloves, never fought with no shinnies. None of my friends and family there. I was like, fuck, there's a lot on the line for this.
Back
Pro
against the
debut,
wall, yep.
back against UFC Fight Pass, everyone's watching back home. And then I think that was probably like one of my best performances. So
That's inspiring to me, Matty. We've got an Alex Pereira live show coming up in a week and a half. I'm shitting my fucking pants off.
he's coming in.
But this is inspiring
Not,
me.
not in here. We're going.
We're doing a live show in front of hundreds
sick.
and hundreds of people. Come down if you like.
Yeah,
Thousands
sweet.
of people.
I'm
If you want to drive down from Ballarat for the night, we'll
Mate,
get
I'm
you in.
always
Don't worry
down.
about that.
I met Pereira last year. Actually, when he came to Melbourne.
Yeah, yeah,
Sharma. I don't think he could speak a word of English,
No,
but
that's
it was still cool to
It's
see
going to
that
be
bloke
fun
in
trying to
real life.
interview him
That's
for an
why I'm
hour.
nervous,
Yeah.
to be honest. Try and interview a bloke that can't speak English.
Mate, he was going.
No, but like that's inspiring actually, because the more nervous you are, the better performance you do. So yeah, I'll take on board
just
that.
lock in. I think, yeah. I reckon you just lock in.
And then we back up and do. We're like the Beatles make our show. We got the June 13 again. We
Back
go to
it up
Brisbane.
in Brisbane. So yeah, get your tickets, mate. But no,
Good. That was well done.
it's been a pleasure, Harry, having you in here. Obviously, August, Eternal. We were on the fence whether we're going to go or not because it's only 3 days in Perth. Time's limited, but you're going to be headlining that shit for a title.
We'll be there.
We'll be there with bells on. Don't worry about that, mate. Any last words for the listeners?
I just want to say thanks for all the support to all the MMA community for getting behind the gym and the whole the GoFundMe and everything. Like people been donating left, right, and centre, so it's awesome. So I'll just shout out my sponsors. I won't name them all because
It's just way too many.
yeah,
Great place to
I
be
get
if you've
lost.
got
but
too many to
I
name.
got PRP Global on there, but my major sponsor. So shout out those guys and thanks for having me on, boys. It's been a pleasure.
Cheers, brother.
And
it, mate.
shout out Delgado.
Shout 'em out. We'll get them on board for you too.
Yeah, sick.
Well, Makeo Shark, we put it out there that it was going to be one of the hard-hitting interviews.
Fuck,
And oh, my
mate.
Godfather, I'm rocked about what we got out of that man. That was an unbelievable chat. I say it
chat.
every week. It gets better with week on week on week. What a fantastic fella. A lovely fella. Friend of the pod for life.
Yeah, good fella. Good fella, must be said.
Yes.
Our man Spud Webb.
Love the way you're just holding that. You just
You
a
got
little
it,
limp Delgado hold.
I'm just going to hold that there while I chat. But
Yes.
good chat with Harry Webb. We wanted him on for a while. I thought, mate, no better time than the drama.
Oh,
The fucking drama. And we love getting a little bit of drama on this pod. We're Hex guys through and through, but, we respect both organisations
Yes.
here. So it's good to see his thoughts, what he got, the feedback. Jumping ship's a big move, mate. You don't take these things lightly. So he just wants to fight the best of the best. He just wants to he wants to be active. That's where it comes down to. You want fights and he wants to get to the UFC. And you know what? I don't begrudge a bloke.
No.
Taking the best deal for him personally. So, fuck, you don't want to.
it's very hard work, these guys. We've said it before. They work full time, then they fight. They've got to try and they're just trying to make it a career out of it.
Exactly.
So you can't begrudge anyone for trying to make a
Kind of
dollar.
like, just you're a regular Joe Schmo. You work 9 to 5 and you want to get a bigger job, a better job, a promotion somewhere
Correct.
else. And then your boss wants to get in your
better.
grill. Oh, I can't believe you're going to just leave us. It's like, mate, I don't fucking owe you anything.
No.
At the end of the day, I've got to look after myself, my family, my tin lids if you've got them.
Got them.
So I think Harry Webb, he did what he did. It's good.
I'm nervous that you'll just rock up on another podcast one day.
Well, mate, if it suits me better, I got to do what's best for me, mate.
Shing shing make it. Oh, freak. Oh, imagine I'm just sitting here and your Cocko's like, where's the shark? And I'm like, I don't know. And then all of a sudden we get and you're on another pod. That'd
If
be
there's any
big.
pods out there offering big squid and want me on, I will jump ship.
Oh boy! So that's look. I'll put it out there on the record myself. I'd like to see the federations in this country come together for the betterment of the sport. I think it's just the egos of everyone involved. It's silly to me.
I think everyone should be able to
goal-
coexist.
But the goal should be to
Yeah.
push these young women and
Yeah.
men
Yep.
into the world, right? The starlight.
Yes,
Put
I
them out
agree.
there,
It's
right?
not about, at the end of the day, these people are companies, they own it, they want to
get
make
it.
money, so it is about them. But at the end of the day, it's about the fighters,
Yeah, the
and
fighters.
all these blokes busting their hump to get to the big leagues. They want to get to
Camel
UFC, Camel's Hump. They want
Where's
to
that
get
Camel something again?
Jackie Chan.
That's right,
Rush Hour.
Yeah.
Camel's Hump.
That's a very
Cocko, can you edit that in? Camel Hump. Rush Hour.
Why the hell are
1.
these two idiots
Yeah.
paying me to talk about
One of the
Camel
good
Hunt?
movies, actually. Chris
Great
Tucker.
movie. Underrated movie.
Chris Tucker, Jackie
But
Chan.
don't you reckon, put the egos aside, Makeo Shark.
I believe so.
Because then it's funny because they all go out and go, oh, we've had this many UFC people now fight for us. So you're all clouting on the fact you've had UFC or Bellator or whatever it is, but then you don't want to work together to get that to happen.
Look, it's
So
a murky, murky world,
murky
Matthew. It's
underworld.
a murky, every industry's murky, isn't it?
pretty murky.
It's a murky world we live in. So good. I'm happy we have Harry Webb on.
Yes.
He'll fight. I reckon.
I think he'll fight.
Yeah, get him in. I reckon he'll be in the UFC. I'm tipping it on the pod
What's your
now.
tip? Look down the barrel. Tell
He'll
us.
be in the big leagues. UFC
leagues?
bound within 2 years because he's only had like 4 fights and he's young.
Yes, young.
Couple more. He's a human highlight reel.
Yeah, wow.
It just says it there in bright lights. Dana White, we'll get him in. I reckon he'll be on the Contender Series, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Within 2 years, Harry Webb's in the UFC. I've just put it there right now. Stake my reputation on it.
It's pretty good. And
Yeah.
good reputation. Sharp reputation.
Good looking fella too. Got the whole the little mustache going. He's
That's
on.
trendy now, isn't it? This
very
new
trendy.
mustache thing.
But he's got a good one.
I play local football. There's a lot of young blokes with mustaches.
Mullets and mussies.
Yeah, I don't know where it's come. Is that the sexy, handsome thing to do? Is it?
Sure is.
Should we come in next time with a mustache?
We're
Shave
too
our
old.
beards and have.
We're too old, mate.
Are we?
Yeah, we are.
Are we too old for the
Yes.
stash? Coco, we too.
Well, not for the
Coco's
stash.
got a stash
Probably
actually.
not for the stat, but Coco's young.
How old
Coco's
are you, Coco?
31, Mike.
34.
Ooh, 34.
not that young.
Not that young at all.
It looks young.
Looks young.
Got youthful exuberance.
It's the mustache.
The mustache
So-
actually isn't for young. It's like Tom Selleck and shit, like older, distinguished
Have
gentlemen.
young people taken the mustache and made it theirs?
They have. They've gentrified it.
Yeah, maybe I might come in next
You could
time.
run a muzzy.
I don't have
I
no
couldn't.
beard.
I'd have
No
to-
beard and a stash.
To punch myself.
Geez, that's a risky move for me as a bald man.
Big risk. With big risk, though, comes big profit, Matthew.
Talking about fucking big profit, I tell you, the pay-per-view today, Makeo Shark, would have had no profit. How the hell do you even give out bonuses today?
Wow, I'd say there was one fight that I'm going to give a bonus to, but the rest of the card, that stunk to high heaven. Some cards come off like $1 million. Some cards just, it might not look good on paper, but it all
Yes. Is this
it
where
all
it
comes
back
together.
to the art of matchmaking?
Sometimes
or is it
cards-
just a bad luck?
Sometimes they just don't deliver. I don't think today delivered on a whole as an entertainment spectacle.
I was sitting there at the Royal Derby, shout out, only place in Australia to go and watch the fights. Only place in the world, really.
Yes.
Sitting there today, and I was like, with every fight getting flatter and flatter. And my beloved New York Rangers lost. Didn't give a whimper.
Yeah, the
no
Rangers.
whimper.
Pour one out for the Rangers season.
No whimper for me today. So I've got
bread
that on
man.
a little mobile phone. I don't know where we even start with this review
Well,
because I just don't get it.
I think there was only this is coming off my recollection after
Yes.
a few adult beverages, but I think over the entire card, so it's 5, 4, 3, 12 fights. I think there's only 2 finishes, 2 submissions, Jarlton Almeida and Kevin Holland. I think every other fight went the distance,
What would that have been, mate?
which is not great.
No.
Not what you want.
Look, we're not Neanderthals. Let's just put it out. We're not Neanderthals.
Makhachev got the sub.
Who's that?
Makhachev got the sub.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, Makhachev. Got, yeah, right. At the end of
We're
the
not
5th round.
Neanderthals, though.
Yeah,
We
you got
love
my-
a great sporting contest. We love a 5-round Barney where it's like the Volk Makhachev
Oh,
in
you
Perth.
love it, mate.
You're standing there almost crying with
Yeah.
how good it is. But
Yeah.
if you're getting blokes and women that aren't wanting to combat each
It's just
other,
some shit fights, mate. I'm going to say it now. Alex Morono, Nico Price
one of the worst things
has
I've
to be
ever
one of the
seen.
worst ever. Not only the performance, but even before that, the actual match itself, the matchmaking, got to be one of the shittest fights on a pay-per-view card ever in history.
If we were to put together our own Who the Fuck Are These Guys promotion and that was our main event, I'd be sick.
That can't be on a pay-per-view
That
card
was on our card at the Corner Hotel, I'd be sick.
in 2024. That
I'd be
can't.
sick.
Yeah, Dana White, good on you. You do great stuff for the sport, but that's a stinky, stinky card.
Shocking.
And that didn't deliver. Basil Basil
Basil.
versus Mickey the Gallbladder
Well,
Gall.
we go with the Herb. We called him, didn't we, midweek?
Yeah, Basil.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did, the herb.
The Colt.
Sprinkle a
I,
bit of-
I said the word wrong, didn't I? I was trying to get French with it.
Yeah, I don't know what you said, actually. You said something a bit odd, but...
I think I got culinary.
Huffies.
But you went culinary.
Oh, that's right. Culinary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
you
was
went
nice.
culinary like an Australian. I tried to get a bit Frenchy with it.
Yeah, it was not good, but
The Herb stood up.
that was probably fight of the night for mine.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen it. We'll get Coco on it now. Fight of the night, what got it? Has to be Basil Hafiz versus Mickey Gall. Good fight. 3-round war, banger. They went hell for leather.
Without saying it, I reckon they'll give it Makhachev Poirier.
Maybe they would.
Without having seen it, they'll give him a little golden
I
handshake on
hope
the
they
way
give
out.
it to Gall and Hafiz because they went 3 rounds hard.
Yeah.
Both blokes ate some fucking shots. It was a good fight.
Question without knowing
it was
this,
a good fight.
Makeo Shah, because you're a very educated man with stuff. This bonus and the number they put on it, and they just play with it, and he gets asked questions from the press, and he's almost put out by the question. So he's like, "Yep, at UFC 300, everyone's getting 300."
Yes.
Sure.
Yep.
Stop talking to me. Sure.
Yep.
But if they can go 300, why did they drop so dramatically back to 50?
Wow.
Why don't you just make it an even 150 or something?
Well, you can make it 100. We've
Even
tried.
100.
We've talked about it.
I know we have, but
it's
isn't it-
about time. Inflation, cost of living.
You know what I mean? Like he made that 300 call so quickly and easily and almost put out by it.
It was smart probably on him though. Like he does that, gets all the
I know.
negative press off his back there all of a sudden. Look at this. Mate, I have
50K is
said
not
it.
enough to me.
I've said it for a while. I personally think having professional athletes beg for 50K as a bonus is a bad look for the sport.
Shocking look.
When you are technically the highest level of competition in the world, you are the primo organisation to have your athletes come out publicly and start begging for $50,000.
It's ridiculous.
I think it's a bad look.
They almost beg for the 50 like they go and beg for Donald's arm, and he just gives them. And
Donald.
my old man always
Donald.
said to me, you know a lot about a person by their handshake,
Limpy.
and it should be a firm without being aggressive.
Donald
Because there's
goes
always
limp.
that idiot that
Do you reckon he goes
tries
limp?
to break. He goes limp.
Donald.
It's what I've noticed that
Donald goes limp?
Donald goes elbow limp.
Do you reckon he does the little finger whip?
He does the finger whippy.
They'd
Do you
be
reckon
doing
he
it
does
to
that,
him.
Coco?
No,
You know
they'd be
that-
doing it to him.
Do you reckon they're doing it?
Because they want to suck Don so bad, they'd be doing these ones. It's the
It's
UFC right-wing suck-off fest.
Can I ask you why I all have to go out there and suck him off? I'd go the other way. I'd get on the mic and go, Donald Trump, you're one of the biggest pieces of shit ever.
Wow.
Get the fuck out of this building
Wow.
and really get a heat thing happening. Go the other way. Build, because everyone goes to him. Try and build something off the other part of it.
You get booed out of the joint. Shout out
But then
Donald,
you
though.
just be just doing, yes.
Shout out America.
Shout out Donald if you
As
just
a
gone with
convicted, he's a convicted, what's the word?
34 felon.
Convicted felon, right? He's actually now a convicted felon, right? You're not allowed to vote in America if you're a convicted felon, but you can still run for president.
It's a strange country, mate.
Interesting setup.
Do you get one of those little train tickets if you're a felon?
Jimmy Fallon is what you're trying to say to me?
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, okay.
I kept spitting Jimmy. I kept saying Jimmy.
He's a convicted Jimmy. But
Jimmy.
look, yeah, shout out America, shout out whatever.
His tie was far too long.
His tie.
Coco, if you're doing a suit, right, if you're doing a nice date, a hot date, and you're putting on a suit, which I couldn't imagine you'd wear very often, once every 18 months, I reckon, max wedding invite, maybe I don't know. Would you do
Christening?
Tie, always, the peak of a tie, Coco, can't go lower than the belt buckle, can it not?
No.
Faux pas. is what
Can't
that is.
go.
That's a fucking faux
Can't do
pas.
it. Also, being a felon's probably not great if you're going on a date.
It's a faux pas felon.
That's very
It's a
good.
felon faux pas.
Can't be felon dating, can you? Many felons dating?
Oh, well, Trump can felon faux pas date.
It's probably an app idea, isn't it?
Yeah,
Tinder
but-
for felons.
Yeah, so
You can go in there and a trusted felon.
You got the Tinder, you got the Hinge, you had that Ashley
Felon.
Madison for blokes who wanted to cheat on their missos.
Yeah, you watch that doco?
It was on the TV last night, actually. I got
watched
into
it,
bed
okay.
after the footy and it was on, and I watched a bit of it.
We watched it, the 3 parts.
Seems odd that you would go on the internet actively trying to cheat on your missus. Like,
And I kept saying to my missus, I go like, weirdly, they all just thought, oh, we can go in there and do it. And the other person, when you cut them, isn't just going to ring your missus and say,
Yeah.
by the way, I've been buffing Johnny. Like
what
it's-
happened? How many blokes, right, went on the Ashley Madison to try and get a fuck and then just saw their missus on it? It would have happened. They're both on there.
I said the same thing. Imagine you matched your wife.
It's
Because it's all
and
geographical.
you can't get angry. Like you couldn't see your missus on there and be like, "You bitch." You'd be like,
You're on there.
You're on there. You might as well fuck.
What a strange world we live in.
Strange world, mate. It's a strange world. Where were we? Donald Trump, long
Felon.
tie, felon,
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Performance bonuses are in.
Yes, there we go.
Fight of the night, Makhachev, Poirier.
I called it. I called it.
That's bullshit.
I called it.
Hafiz should have got it.
I
Robbed.
knew it. I knew it.
Robbed.
Performance of the night, Islam Makhachev.
This is the
and
millionaire's cash.
Kevin Holland.
Yeah, Kevin's good. I hate that. I reckon they should take it into consideration. I said it's a bad look when blokes that are poor and can't pay their bills are desperately begging for 50K. Take it into consideration a little bit where Makhachev's a millionaire.
How good? Did you just
Yes.
a millionaire? Did you do that by purpose?
I did it on purpose.
Okay.
Give it to a bloke like Basel Hafiz and the fucking gallbladder.
Give me a sentence doing that.
Give the... I can't. It's too hard. I'm going to have phlegm all over this man's microphone. It's not good for business. Give a bloke like Mickey Gall, who's clearly doesn't have money to pay the
Bladder.
fucking light bill, the gallbladder.
gallbladder.
He's got gallbladder surgery coming up in a
It's
week.
the best nickname of all time, by the way, the Mickey Gallbladder.
Is.
You can't beat
against
it.
the Herb. These blokes need money to pay the fucking bills, mate.
Yeah.
So give them the bonus. Don't give it to a millionaire.
Why are you in the pinnacle of the sport and need money to pay bills too? That's the problem.
The black mark.
You get these NBA guys getting 4 max 168.
Bench warmers making millions.
Dellavedova, when he got that last NBA contract,
Millions.
it was like 60 million. Some weird
Big Delhi.
4-year bucks.
Big Delhi.
Big Delhi.
Big Delhi cock.
And now he's just playing.
Mate, he does. He can fucking.
Just playing for Melbourne now
He didn't give a fuck. He didn't give a fuck.
because he made his cash.
This is the problem.
But
I
you get
think-
these UFC guys
Yeah, desperate.
that are the best in the world at what they're doing and in the best organisation.
Having
And
said that, though, they give some people some fucking contracts these days. Fuck me.
do they?
Gee whiz. Like, there's people out there today, right, that haven't watched the sport before. They're just tuning in. They've gone to a friend's house and they're like, oh, the fights are
It's
on.
on the barbecue.
Barbecue's
Get around,
on.
mill around. We're all milling.
Steve-O's having a
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
shindig. You got the fights on.
Fucking Steve-O.
And then they're sitting around. They're watching Nico Price, Alex Morono stumble around, looking all sloppy, just throwing the fucking shittest things ever. And they're going, oh, so this is the best in the world, is it? And you're like, not really.
It's like I think I've mentioned on this pod before when I used to put The Sopranos on, and every time I'd have it on, there'd be like a stripper scene or like
That's good.
Tony, but Tash would walk in as there's a
and
Tony
he's
driving,
smashing a
his
stripper's
Escalade,
tits into a wall or
getting a
something.
BJ driving, or one of the blokes is beating the shit out of a stripper. She's like, "Is this why you're watching?" I'm like,
Well,
"No,
it's
no,
like
no."
when we
it's
were
a-
kids and we had the Royal Rumble on 99, 2000 Royal Rumble, and my dad walks in.
Correct.
Mae Young just flashing her 86-year-old tits, and he just walks in and like, what the hell are you kids
That'd be a
watching?
great plug-in if he could find it and put it in.
Plug the Mae, yeah, the Mae Young tit flash. We were like, for years, I'm like, Dad, it's actually really good. It's not fake, it's real.
It's real.
I swear to God, it's real.
real.
And then he walks in on the Mae Young tit flash and forget about it.
So, Makeo Shark, talk to me about the event today, though. Outside of we've given pus. Was there any performances that caught your eye?
Kevin Holland was good,
Yeah.
the K-hole.
Yeah, the K-hole.
Mate, his arm was fucking brutalised. He snapped that arm, didn't he?
Now, where do we stand on that? Because he didn't tap.
Well, we were a bit upset about that, I
Big
thought.
Herbert
Because he
popped in
didn't
with the-
technically tap, did he?
No, it was a medical stoppage from Herbert, was it?
The 11 Herbs and Spices
Yeah.
jumped in and stopped it, which I
Premature
guess...
stoppage.
I don't know what it's like, because obviously you got to stop the fight if someone's getting their head bashed in, right? But if someone on purpose doesn't tap, even though their arm's about to snap in half, isn't that not up to them? The onus should be on the fighter to tap or not, right? Because it's not risking head trauma. It's not risking your life. It's risking
No.
your arm. So if he wants to continue fighting with a snapped arm, should you let him?
Probably not.
No?
It's a bad look.
No?
Remember Tim Sylvia's arm broke and they called the fight on his behalf because you can't fight with a broken
I
arm?
guess you can't fight. I guess that's in the rules. You can't fight with a broken arm. I guess if your leg breaks, they stop the fight. I guess that's what happens.
Because what happened was, I saw the vision of when he got angry at that bloke. Did you see his little limp,
His arm was fucked.
his whisk hand? Like it didn't look like it was a real hand. So
I think his arm was pretty cooked.
Yeah.
So I guess it's the right move. But at the time, it felt like, let him fight. He didn't tap. He's sick enough to not tap.
yes,
Let him fight.
I agree. I think let them fight.
I don't know.
I think they're all because we've seen where they don't tap and they snap it.
It's the no tap snap.
It's a no tap snap.
I don't know.
but we've seen it.
Maybe
multiple.
let the no tap snap.
Is that a new thing? Maybe have come in, maybe saved it because I don't know.
I think what happened, he kind of like moved his arm a bit. Maybe Herb thought it was a tap. I don't know. Because Herb was ready. He's like, this is going to snap. He's like,
Herb was
fuck
ready.
me, this is going to snap here. And then he saw his arm go like that and he went, I'm stopping it. I don't know. Probably the right decision.
Kevin Holland's an interesting character, isn't he?
Kevin Holland.
So when he because we just forgot that he'd gone up.
It was a late notice. Yeah, he's fighting at middleweight again.
Yeah.
Because he's down at welterweight now. So
Tootsies we're playing. It's nice.
touching toots down there. But no, good by him. Like, he doesn't really give a fuck if he wins or loses, Kevin Holland, to be
No.
honest. He just fights. He said, I think I read 17 fights since Conor McGregor last won a fight. So that's interesting, isn't it?
That's an outrageous stat.
It's a good stat.
You're the David King of UFC with those sort of stats.
Got
In
the almanac.
war room.
Yeah, he's 17
fights since well,
20.
McGregor's only won one fight in 5 or something crazy.
Well, he's only beaten Cowboy in 2020 season,
Wasn't
Matthew.
that the funniest thing of all time? That when you think back,
2020
and he's like hugging Donald's grandma.
That was great.
and it was all just lovely. He had a weird haircut from memory, Connor. He had different hair. I reckon. I've got a feeling he had
Yeah, he might have gone a bit of a quaff.
only quiffed.
I'm not sure.
Coco, was there a quiff? Was there a Connor quiff? You reckon back? I've got
2020 quiff.
a different hair. There was something about him that was
but he
different.
fucked Donald up. I think
Donald,
Connor
you
was
fucked
ready
Donald
to Connor was ready to rampage in
think he'd
2020.
fuck Donald up, to be honest.
Nah, Donald would kick me in the dick.
Would he?
Yeah. Yeah, Donald's all right. 2020, COVID fucked Connor. I'll say it now. COVID fucked Connor. They wouldn't let him fight in empty arenas. It's unfortunate. But, so Kevin's had 17 fights in that time. So, yeah, look, he's a warrior, mate. He doesn't give a fuck whether he wins or loses. He just likes fighting.
So it's a money thing now for him, isn't it?
Yeah, he just likes fighting.
Any fights you'd like to have him? Do you reckon he'll stay in that middleweight?
No, he'll go back down to welterweight. He'll go back to him.
Okay. I was going to say because Costa lost. It'd be interesting.
Nah.
Having those two fight? No.
Nah.
No.
Not for mine.
Okay.
Not for mine. Can we talk about that, actually, that fight? Costa Strickland, mate. Look,
Oh, boy.
I don't want to go on too much, but I don't like Sean Strickland too much, Matty.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing, guys. Now I'm on camera, I won't be able to do it right, but I do a good Strickland noise. Here's the thing, guys.
Here's the thing.
All right, I'm going to fight to the death, guys.
He doesn't
I'm just
ever
going to
fight
jab.
to the death.
I'm just going to jab.
He never fights to
He
the
just
death.
jabs.
And with 30 seconds to go, he makes a big scene.
100%. Fight me, China boy.
Ah.
He does like a flying fucking ninja kick in the last 4 seconds. Like, he's very good at what he does. I'm not taking it away, Sean Strickland.
No, you
You're
don't
a
negate
very
his ability.
defensively minded, solid, smart fighter, and that's what you do. You've got a very good Philly shell that you set up behind and you check leg kicks really well. You've always got the forward pressure, putting people on the back foot. Like, no dramas. You're very good at what you do. You win. Just don't run this shtick of fighting to the death and you're a fucking libertarian. Like, yeah, guns and violence and fight to the death, guys. I don't give a fuck. And then you don't do it, mate. You come out and you fight safe and you jab, 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 and you jab, jab, jab.
Jab, jab, jab.
And you win fights and then you go and act like you're this fucking Genghis Khan operator outside the crowd. You're not, mate.
What annoys me about it is, though, when people fight him, they don't ever seem to take a risk. I said to you today, so you're going to lose. You're going to, and by the way, what drugs was that judge on that gave?
Yeah, we'll talk
We're all
about that.
quite excited because our friend Heaps Harrison had Costa basically, and if that won, he was going to pay for purse right then and there. UFC 305 Makeo Shark, but he just has an ability to like almost poison his opponents that makes them all.
He just discombobulates blokes.
Great word.
I guess.
Great word.
Great word.
Because that's what it is.
It's a
Because surely you go in and just go, well, I'm going to lose on points the way this is currently going. So I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not a fighter, but you would think, you got to take some risks because he doesn't really have knockout power. I don't think he's going to spark Costa, is he? So you would. I don't know. I don't know.
I'd love to ask Costa.
Costa doesn't have any other strings to his bow. He doesn't have any takedowns. Doesn't really have anything other than his Costa strikes.
For a man that doesn't have many strings to his bow, he's pretty ordinary, to be honest, because he's
Costa
not a great stand-up guy.
I like Costa because he's funny, but he's a bit of a myth. Like, he's a bit of a myth overall. He hasn't really
He's a
done
false
anything.
commodity, I think.
Hasn't really done anything, ever.
He's never sparked. You can't tell me a guy that
He smashed a few blokes early in his career, coming up, like his first 2 or 3 fights. Like, he
Okay.
smashed Hendricks, like might have fucked him up. Then he fought Yoel Romero. It was a very exciting fight. Him and Yoel just went ham for a round or two. He dropped Yoel in this flurry and it was like, wow, look at this marauding Brazilian with the big pecs and the sexiness.
Listen to your word. You're on a word clinic today.
We did. He marauded early.
Yeah, he marauded.
And he had this big,
What's his record in the last 5?
wow, he's beaten fucking Luke Rockhold. That's it. Since he got embarrassed by Izzy, I think he's only beaten Rockhold, to be honest. He just loses. It's weird.
Is he a perennial loser?
He is. Cocko could look it up, but I don't think he's beaten anyone except Rockhold in a 3-round
Did he
Salt
beat
Lake City fight.
He beat Vittori.
He lost to fucking
Did
Vittori
he?
when he didn't make weight. Yeah, he come in overweight and he lost that fight.
He was the one that didn't make weight, wasn't he?
He didn't give a fuck, yeah.
That's right. He said, I'm just coming in at this weight.
He come in like 20 pounds over and he's like, that's your problem. And Vittori's sitting there going, what?
That's right. He was the bad guy.
He was a bad guy in that. He come in low,
So he lost that.
and he just lost it. He doesn't win fights, mate. And I like him.
I think there's a sure thing in life, being born, dying, and Costa not winning fights.
I love him. Secret juice, Matthew. I wish we were also drinking secret juice.
Yes.
I like secret juice.
So Secret Juice is in the can. Mouthful of Mexico. Shout out to Delgado's Makeo Shark. The best liquid that'll ever hit your lips.
Yep.
So he's probably just almost should retire.
But he's got the name value. He's Costa. He's sexy. He's got
What
the
would he got paid today, you
secret
reckon?
juice.
What would his purse be?
You'd hope 300,
Yeah, okay.
300-400.
Still pretty decent, isn't it?
I think he's getting 300-400.
He really hasn't beaten anyone. He
Yeah,
beat Johnny Hendricks,
Yeah.
TKO,
That was his-
Uriah Hall.
Yeah, anyone.
That went into the Yoel. Then he lost to Izzy.
Yep.
Vittori,
Yep.
beat Rockhold,
Yep.
lost to Whitaker,
Yep.
lost to Strickland.
Yeah, so he's only beaten, as I said, he's beaten fucking Rockhold in 4 years. He's a great myth. He just has a nice face, big pecs, nice abs. He's funny as
his hair
shit.
transplant didn't take.
His hair transplant hasn't quite taken.
No.
Better than it
Mine
was.
didn't take either.
Didn't take, unfortunately. What else was on today, mate? We'll just get into it quickly.
Well, the main event,
Oh, yeah, of course, talk about that, won't we?
Yeah.
Dustin, the pea-head.
the P-head.
P-head.
He's just, he gave a good go.
No, he had a good crack, Dustin. He had a good crack.
So we weren't really rooting for him.
I don't love Dustin.
No, you made
But
that
I
point
don't-
clear today.
I don't not
Sore
like
winner,
him.
you said.
I respect him.
Sore winner.
I think he's a bit of a sore winner at times. He's proven that over the journey.
We don't like sore winners.
He's a bit of a sore winner, which I reckon is worse than a sore loser, to be honest.
It's a rare trait to be a
A
sore winner.
sore winner is a certain brand of person.
Yes.
We've all seen it. He got in fucking Chandler's face after. I think I'm not a fighter again, as we say. No matter what happened before the fight, you go in there into war, lay it all on the line. Well, I think once it's over, I think you just shake your hands and you respect each other.
You'd like to think
He
that.
gets in blokes' grills after he's just beaten them. I think it's a weird thing to do. He's
Well,
done
you're
it,
at your worst when you've just been humbled too.
done it multiple times. he did
I
it to Dan
couldn't
Hooker.
imagine being like choked out or knocked out, and then you've got a guy in your grill again after the fact. It's like,
After he had that 5-rounder with Hooker,
Get off of me.
that Dan Hooker war, I would have thought you just embrace, you hug, you kiss.
Pass almost.
He was getting like real salty and in Hooker's face.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, man,
yeah.
relax.
So we didn't really want him to win, but we also would have liked the division change up. You
I
love a
wanted
change
him
up.
to win because he wins and then Connor beats Chandler. We get Poirier, Connor 4 for the belt. That's what we wanted, but.
It's Connor's best chance back, but I
Not
guarantee
to
you
be.
this.
Not
I'll
to
tell you
be.
this right now on this podcast. I'll look down that camera. If Connor wins, they're booking Connor Islam. Don't even think they're not doing it. No, they are.
I don't want it.
They do though.
Yeah, I don't.
Do you imagine the money? Because the Khabib, mate, that is money. That is.
It's money.
They want it. I'm telling you.
Connor wants it because he's unbelievably Connoring and a bit delusional. I don't personally want it.
He showed an ability to be hit very comfortably today, though.
He doesn't beat him, so sadly. I
I'm
hope Connor's
gonna-
not watching
I
this.
reckon he
but
beats him.
He doesn't beat Islam.
I'm Connor's biggest man. You can remember this podcast. I reckon he beats him. He's going to beat him.
I don't think he beats him.
I reckon he beats him, mate. I could have had a couple of.
Look, if Connor beats Islam,
Yeah. Mouthful of yummies I've had, and I reckon he
I'll
beats
have a
him.
whole mouthful of something. I tell you what, I'll go nude on the pod if he does that.
Is Islam better than Khabib?
No, see,
he's not.
Good question, Cocker
Great
in the
question.
booth. There's a bit of a debate about that.
Wasn't even a
But
debate,
I
it was
reckon
an agreement.
I reckon today almost signified to me, no, I reckon Khabib's better. I think Khabib's better than Islam.
I reckon I actually think Islam's record's better.
Islam's record potentially better, but I think
Can
Khabib's
someone
better.
look up Khabib's last 5 fights and look up Islam's last. I bet you
I get it. No, I
Islam's
get
got a
it. I
better
get that.
name record.
But he only fought who he fought. You can't help who you fight.
So who Islam's had Volk twice,
Volk twice. Not much else.
beat Poirier.
Poirier.
He's humbled.
He's beaten Charles.
He beat Charles.
He's beaten.
He's beaten Gaethje.
No, he didn't beat Gagey. Never fought Gagey.
Islam didn't choke him out.
Khabib did.
It was Khabib.
Khabib ran through these fucking Johnny Come Latelys, mate.
Okay.
And I think he did it in. Look, I just think Khabib had a bit more stank about him. A bit more just fucking.
Well, I know Khabib would
Run
never
you
have had
down.
the back for 5 minutes like today.
Khabib doesn't hold the back for fucking 95 minutes, and
No.
he ran. I just think Khabib's just a little bit better.
Yeah.
Maybe not. He doesn't have the better striking, but I think he had more pressure, more forward intensity, and better on the ground. Taps blokes out quicker.
A lot more
That's me.
efficient.
It's,
No, I think that's fair.
It's much of a muchness. 6 one, half a dozen the other. I just think Khabib a little bit better.
Strength of schedule. We got Rafael Dos Anjos. This is Khabib.
Yeah.
He beat Michael Johnson. He
Yeah.
beat Edson Barboza.
Yeah.
Then he won the title off the school teacher, Ally Quinta.
Yeah, in a 5-round snoozer.
Ally Quinto was his best opponent, by the way.
It's bizarre that he actually 5 rounds with Al.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he beat Connor, Dustin, Gaethje, then wrapped it up.
Wrapped it right up.
That's pretty poor.
I'm
Give
not
me Islam.
debating records or anything. I just
Yeah.
think Khabib's a little bit better.
I
than
reckon Islam's record would scream and sing.
Well, it didn't. There was nothing until he won the title. He only fought Bobby Green and shit.
Did you just hear his?
Islam fought no one until he won the belt.
Yeah, but did you just hear Khabib's?
Yeah, it's not great.
Islam, he beat Tarsukian or whatever.
Yeah, Saruki in early doors.
Then Davi Ramos, Drew Dober,
Doberman's a good win.
Moises or whatever his name
Mateus
is.
Gam, right? Was it? No.
Tiago.
Oh, yeah. No, not Gam, right, yeah.
Dan Hooker, Bobby Green, Oliveira, Volk, Poirier.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying anything. They probably beat anyone who's in front of them, regardless, both of them. Like
Now he'll go up.
I just think Khabib's a bit better than Islam. That's all I'm saying.
No, I think currently he is. He's got a lot more.
Just if they were to fight each other, I reckon Khabib's just a bit better on the ground and would get the job done.
That's probably fair.
That's just what I think.
So if next for him, well, he'll go up. He said that, didn't he?
He wants Leon's.
Only beats Leon.
I think cut that shit. I think UFC will say you're fighting Arman Sarukian. I think that's the fight. I think Arman Sarukian
Yep.
will fight Islam next.
He's already beaten him.
He beat him a few years back. I think Arman was 21 at the time. It was
The
either
nut, they call him.
Sarukian nut.
Almond.
Yeah. The almond, the milk. Almond milk. Almond Tanzarian.
Yeah.
I think that's the fight.
Yeah.
I don't think he goes up yet. I think they make that fight because it's the only lightweight contender he's beaten now. So he's only beaten one bloke in the division. So
is funny,
You got to
actually, it's
defend
true.
again, don't you?
Must defend.
You must.
And Poirier retirement.
I think Poirier should retire.
Okay.
Other than a contender, maybe a fourth kind of fight, what's he doing? No point. He's been through too many wars. He's at the age now. You've got the lovely little girl.
Yeah.
Got the Dal. I think you just ride off into the sunset, Dustin.
Yeah.
You didn't win the title, but hey, no,
He won an interim.
He won an interim, yeah.
that's-
We haven't won the title. It doesn't stop us, you know what I mean? So it doesn't matter.
We haven't won a title.
No.
Yes, we have.
We haven't.
We're the current unified podcast champions.
Wow. Different belt, though, isn't it? So I think he should retire.
Okay.
I think no shame in that.
I tell you who else should retire. Deontay Wilder.
Oh, Deontay.
You said that 5 on 5.
Deontay Wilder.
Our man, Big Bang
Big
Zhang,
Bang. Yeah, Big Bang.
came as advertised.
The theory,
Big Bang.
they call him, the big fella. The theory.
That's very good. That's actually very good. We didn't go with that last
Austin
week.
Theory.
Did you been thinking
No,
that?
I just thought of that then on the spot, off the dome, mate.
Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, no, wrecked him.
Did you see how confused he was with that one punch and did doing?
He was doing
And then he
bronze
ran
bomber.
at it. You'd
Alabama
panic. You'd
stanky
panic
leg.
with a Zhang ran.
Yeah, 6 foot.
Ran
8.
and went bop with the right and
Zhang
put him
ran,
through
yeah.
the ropes.
100%. The bloke was what, 80 pounds bigger than him or some shit?
Yeah, mate. He's a
70 pounds,
monstrous
80
man.
pounds. You can't beat a bloke that's 80 pounds bigger than you. I'm sorry.
It was a great concept by our man, the Excellency.
Yeah, great concept. Eddie Hearn would be licking his wounds, getting fucking
What
whitewashed.
was he? 5 and zip.
I think it was 5 and zip, yeah.
It's 5v5.
Yep.
Edward didn't win
Edwin didn't get a lick.
Did not
That's
win.
all right.
We like Edward.
Well, AJ didn't fight. He probably would have got a win if he had been on there. So you can't take too much into it. But
So Big Bang Zhang though, that's because he had to obviously coming off a loss
Big Bang,
against Joey Parker.
that's huge from Parker to win that.
Yeah. Parker's beat both those men, by the way,
Yeah.
in his last
Yeah,
two
of course
fights.
he has. That's showing you how good Parker is right now.
Parker's
Big bad Joey.
Big Bad. We love Joey. We've been
Big
trying to get
Joey
Joey
Parker.
on. We've been trying to get Joey in this pod for fucking 3 years before we even had the pod.
Big Joey Tribbiani's.
The friends.
Big Georgie Parker.
Love him on, wouldn't we? Georgie.
Come on.
Georgie. Because those wins are massive when you look at what just happened today, though.
We'll get Georgie on.
Zhang made Deontay look putrid.
I saw it online. Someone was saying if he loses today, which he did, got knocked the fuck out in the 6th round, whatever it was, it has to now, his legacy in the sport, I think, has taken a monstrous hit. He was fucking rampaging, right? Was he
Rampage.
40-odd and 0 at some point?
Yeah.
Biggest knockout artist in history of the sport. Beating everyone. Could have retired and gone down as one of the greats, but he's
Yep.
just been showing up, hasn't he? Fury did what he did to him.
Well, he
He's
should have lost to
fucking
Fury 3 times. He got
Should've.
the draw in
yeah,
that.
Yeah, he should have been 0-3. Parker went out there and just proved, take the right hand away from him. He
Yep.
obviously has nothing else.
Which is frightening. You can go in there for 12 rounds and not get hit by that.
And
But
now the Big Bang Theory's gone out there and done what he done.
yeah.
Wilder now is just another bloke
Yes,
in the annals of time.
he is.
Which is a
But he'll
shame.
probably still get big money if he wants to fight. That's the thing. More than
He's got a name, yeah.
these UFC
But he should
blokes.
wrap it up. He was always talking about wrapping it up, wasn't he?
Well, Wilder even against Franny would be good.
That's probably the fight.
That's a great fight.
Who is Eddie Hearn, his man, yeah?
Yeah.
Matchroom bloke?
No, he's not Deontay.
Deontay.
No,
He must be.
he has to be, actually.
Yeah.
Nah.
Well, I thought Matchroom went
Yeah,
fucking...
I know, but I don't think he's been a while. No, because he's an AJ guy. I don't think he...
I don't know who's Wilder. I don't know. Yeah. It's Cocko
That's actually quite confusing.
in the booth. Who fucking
'Cause
promotes
he
Wilder?
wasn't with Wilder when he was...
He might be a
fighting.
free agent.
Maybe he is a free
We
agent.
should know this.
Should we, though?
Don't know. He should fight fucking Francis.
That's the fight.
If that's the fight.
That's great.
That's the fight.
That'd be perfect. Both men can't fight with boxing.
It's the two big bangers.
Big bangers.
Don't know how to box but can fuck you up.
Perfect.
It sells itself.
Billed as the big bangers.
Two.
Bangers and mashers.
Yeah, it's the sweet science. This ain't it. This ain't your sweet science, baby. This ain't your granddaddy sweet science.
this ain't
this
your
is
granddaddy's
fucking.
sweet science.
This is some bullshit.
This is some bullshit. I'll tell you what, it's not some bullshit, Makeo Shark. I'll tell you what is granddaddy science. I'll tell you what is Big Bang Theory. I'll tell you what is the number one segment in all of entertainment, Makeo Shark. Don't worry about anything else that's been in this room. We've had conspiracy theorists before us. We've had Cock on Cock podcast here, two coxes. But I tell you, Makeo Shark, this segment excites me because you paused it last week. You said, no, I'm going to stop it and do it on the video, Makeo Shark. It is Australia's hottest segment. It's been going now for 122 episodes. We didn't even mention that at the start of the pod. 122 this week, Makeo Shark. There's 122 of these segments that have come before what we've gone today. It is my favourite. It's the audience's favourite. It's your favourite because it's your goddamn segment. Jaffa Cake, Ass Wipe.
The goddamn Jaffa Cakes.
It's the Makeo Shark Tank.
It is the Makeo Shark Tank. I'm going to crack a Delgado's
Crack it.
specifically
Crack a lacquer.
for this.
What's that out of, Crack a lacquer?
Cheers and a sip, Matty.
Cheers and a sip.
Makeo Shark Tank back again.
I'm
live
excited
on
because
air.
you paused it last week. You said, no, I want to save it for the air.
Oh,
you don't ever.
That's delicious. In the Shark Tank this week, Matty.
Yes.
I don't know how it's taken me 120 weeks to get to them.
122.
Bogan names, Matthew. Bogans that name their kids absolutely
you
stupid
got for me?
fucking things. I tell you what, it's got to stop. It's reached a zenith here in Australia right now.
What do you got for me?
There's a bloke, right? There's and Bogan names, they don't discriminate. They're everywhere.
Are they?
But there's a bloke currently
Just
running
some notes.
around in the
I've got some
AFL, mate. I've got some notes here just so I get it right, mate, because you can't even fathom what these people have gone with. Bogan names. There's a bloke in the AFL right now making his debut a few weeks ago. His name is Shadow, right?
His name's not Shadow.
His name's Shadow. This is beside the point. His surname's Brain, which is terrible. His name's Shadow Brain, which is unfortunate, right? But right, I got no problem with Shadow.
Game book called Shadow Brain.
There's a Shadow Brain running around.
There's no chance there's a Shadow Brain.
I swear to God, there's a Shadow Brain.
CTE. That's CTE, shadow on the brain.
I haven't even started. You wait and see what these people have been up to. Shadow Brain, right?
Yep.
If his name was just Shadow Brain and it was spelled how you think it would be spelled,
Oh, don't you dare.
wouldn't
Can
even
I have a
have a-
guess at the spelling?
I wouldn't even have a fucking problem.
Have a guess?
I'd say that's a shit name, but, you know, whatever.
Can I have a guess?
You don't even want to know how they've spelled Shadow.
There's an X in there, I reckon.
I wish, mate, if there was, I would.
Silent X?
I'd flip the camera if there was an X. There's not an X, but there could be.
I thought it was like that French. That
Yeah.
You know.
Shadow. Faux pas.
Is it, don't you dare go Shadow is in DOE. If you go DOE, I'll kill you
Not
right
quite
now.
DOE.
Oh.
SHADEAU. Shadow.
Oh, no.
Shadow Brain, right? He's running around the AFL. And not only is Shadow Brain running around the AFL, he has siblings, Matthew.
He can't have siblings.
His drug addicted, on the shard parents have run with. I have to spell them too, because just saying it doesn't give you. Winter. How do you think they spelt winter? WYNTA. Fuck off with that.
He popped. There was a Coco pop.
Fuck
I heard
off.
a Coco
Wow.
off-air pop.
You-
It's the first
And
off-air
not
pop.
only have they gone with that,
You can't end in an A. What are you
can't
doing?
end in an A.
Popped. That's the first time I've ever actually heard him laugh
Mate,
properly.
I tell
now
you.
I know all he's just given us his towel because that's a real laugh. Now all
Yep.
these other ones we
I
know are
finally
fake.
cracked him.
You
I tell you what,
he took you.
Shadow and Winter are also running around with a third sibling. This is going to blow your mind
Don't
off.
you dare.
You're going to spew up in the box. Everyone at home is going to shit themselves when they hear the spelling of this third kid.
What are we going with?
Willow, which doesn't sound bad.
Great
does
name.
It? Doesn't
It's a
sound
lovely
bad.
name. Don't you dare
Willow.
even spell this wrong.
Hey, that's not bad.
It's lovely.
They laid off the smack.
Yeah, they look.
Right.
They were yeah.
Do you know how they spell Willow? WHIILOE. Enough. Enough.
You can't.
You just can't.
You know you can't.
You actually can't. Put them in jail. Get the cops in, protective
Cops
services,
in.
wrap
Go
them up.
that one again for me, please.
I'm going to read
Willow.
it, mate. Willow
With
Winter.
two eyes.
Two eyes.
No, spell that for me. Two eyes.
WHIILOE. Fuck off.
L-O-V-E, love.
L-O-V-E.
What's love?
What's
That's what they
love?
must have been listening to.
Willow E
love.
love. Nah, that is fucking. I was going to say a word you can't say on air. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Boy.
Fuck you, Mr. and Mrs.
How have
Brain.
you just gone and done a full expose on this family, by the way? How'd you even get there?
I thought, I love the Cats, my boy Grind Myers. I thought Grind, right, and his brother Ryger were the worst two names in the history of the universe.
Jushin? Is that what they call it?
Jushin Ryger. Jushin Ryger, the Thunder. Ryger and Grind had to be the odds-on favourite, two worst names in a family in Australia ever. And then Shadow, Winter and Willow come through with the goods and absolutely...
Willow on paper's fine.
Stephen Bradbury.
Nothing wrong with Willow on paper. The spelling is what's...
When you stick two I's and an OE at the end, you fucked it.
Oh, no, Makeo.
And I'm sure there's a lot of other bogan names out
How
there.
did you go down the YouTube rabbit hole on this family?
Well, I
though?
saw Shadow Brain and I went, fuck off, right? Fuck off. You can't spell Shadow like that. And I Googled Shadow Brain to read about this prick.
What was their articles about the family?
Wow, because his name's ridiculous. So there's articles out there. People have written articles because these names are stupid.
This is unbelievable.
So
what
fuck
a great
them.
tank.
Bogan names in the tank every single week from now on. If there's any good bogan names out there, call in, phone in.
Phone in. We've got the live phone.
We'll get the fucking phone line up. Give us your best, most ridiculous, horrific, sickening bogan names out there. We want to hear them. If you've named your kid something fucked and you regret it,
Oh, boy.
tell us.
Well, you've almost killed me with that. You've actually...
We were going to have if we had a boy, I was going to call it Wolf. Probably glad I don't have a kid that's a boy. Because Wolf, I'd probably regret that.
Wolf. Nothing.
Sounds cool and tough on paper. You're like, yeah, it's fucking sick. Wolf with 9 letters and a fucking umlaut. But yeah, exactly.
Wolf, to be called Wolfie's the best.
Wolfie's probably a pretty cool name. But I reckon I would regret that. And that's got nothing on Shadow or fucking Willow with two eyes.
You've actually killed me there. You've taken a part of my soul.
I hope this gets back to that family. They need to have a come to Jesus meeting.
Coco will cut up a great reel. We'll tag that bloke.
It's just not good enough, mate.
He's obviously an adult playing AFL. We'll
He's
tag
20,
him.
whatever he is. Yeah, he can cop it. I don't even mind Shadow that much, even though it's ridiculous, the spelling. Willow's the one I've got real issues with. Two eyes and an OE.
It's fucked.
Fuck me.
My godfather.
Imagine
Okay.
the absolute hell they've gone through at school. Every single time they have to fill a form in or on the phone or anything ever, and you got to fucking say your name. Think of the kids, mate. How annoying. How many minutes in their life they have to fucking spend explaining their name to people.
It's not.
It is just unfathomable.
Double preview. My jocks off, please.
Okay. Well, there's obviously...
Big month, June. Big month.
June's a huge
302.
month, Matty.
This weekend, then I think our man Bob of
Bobby.
the Knuckle Variety, and then
Oh, the Connor. Oh, that 2024 season.
we're going to have a live stream.
Live stream. Coco's excited.
We've even got goggles for Coco too, our little Irish clovers.
Yeah, we bought some. We've bought some 4-leaf clover sunglasses. We're getting into the spirit. Don't you worry about that. We've got some other shit coming. Black Jag's going to be in the number 1 contender fight. Our man Ulberg. So,
Yeah.
it's going to be a big old one when that happens. But
Yes.
what do we got, Matty? What do we got here? We got
Get on there and look for
UFC
it.
coming up this way. Let's get me notes up.
Yep, get your notes up. I'm going to get double lap open.
this is
I'm going to
probably-
get ready for an early preview. If you're out there too, sign up, dabble, but responsibly, Makeo Shark. It's a great app, but you just must do it with funds you have.
Always
not
gamble
funds you don't have.
responsibly. Think of what you could be spending it instead, Matthew.
Exactly.
That's what you got to do. You win some, you lose more. That's what I've heard.
Wow. Very good, very wise words from you.
All right, multi.
Yeah,
Let's
hang
just
on.
do it quick.
Let's do it.
I don't actually know. This is coming off the top here. I haven't even researched this card. It's not a great card. It's actually the worst card in June.
Yes.
Worst card in June.
It's shocking. I'm looking at it, Makeo.
I'm going to do it just because I like him. Cody
Yeah.
Stamen.
Yeah.
Bit of stank on the Stamen.
$2.57 statement.
Fuck.
Jesus.
Shit.
Taylor LaPlouf.
Yeah, Lapoulis. I reckon fuck the odds. That's good value for Cody Stamen.
Sometimes you shouldn't look at the odds.
Cody-
Go the eye test.
Eye test. He's got the dog in
love
him.
an eye. He's got the dog in
got
him.
the dog in him, Cody Stamen. So I like that. Put him in,
You've
please.
punted on Stamen before on here.
Stamen. Isn't Stamen like the fucking thing on a flower? Like a flacken, a flower? Like a
I know a
the
flower.
stamen?
It's a stem.
We're going to get into it. Denise Gomez, Matty, chuck her in the multi for me, please.
Gomez. Oh, it's just 251. You've gone 257, 251.
There's big value here on
Yeah.
this pod. Montana De La Rosa up against Andrea Lee. We don't like Andrea Lee on this
We
podcast.
don't like her.
Her husband has a swastika tattooed on him.
Okay.
And they act like it's not a big deal.
Well, she's $2.08. So you've gone 3 outsiders. I
like
like
it.
You're going a value chaser this
Stick
week.
her in, mate. Stick her in. Wow. We got Charles Radke, Buffalo.
Oh.
Chuck Buffalo, the big man that drops the absolute.
Mark.
What are the odds there? Chuck Buff.
Mark Bradkey.
What's Bradkey playing?
$2.58.
Oh, no. Go Prates.
Okay.
Go Prates. Ludovic
Prates is
Klein, no, Miguel. This is a shocking card. Go Miguel Beza for me. Put him in the multi up against Soriano.
Bezo's in. Jeff.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Marquez. We don't like Marquez because he blew it with Miley Cyrus that time.
Aha.
He stunk it up.
Okay.
So I'm going to fade him. Put Zachary Reese in. What are the odds there?
Zachary Reese, $1.96.
Yeah, like that. Good odds. Good odds.
$1.88 for Marquez. You want Reese's Pieces in?
Yeah, Reese's. Yeah, put the Reese's Pieces in. I want Bruno Ferreira in because Dustin Stoltzfus is shit.
Yep.
Yep, that's good. We've got Raul Rosas Jr., the big fella, the young man, 18 years old.
Big sexy guy.
Big sexy. This is
Big
the fight
sex.
that got rebooked because
Yes.
we're supposed to be at Mexico City earlier in the year. It's finally rebooked. It's a big good fight, actually. Ricky Tercios, he's good. Don't write him off, but I think Rosas Jr. will get the job done here.
Okay, in.
Then we've got Dominic Reyes versus Justin Jacoby.
Yuck.
Oh, gee, I tell you
Yuck.
what, Dominic Reyes must be thanking his lucky stars that he got out of that Carlos Ulberg fight.
I reckon Jacoby does him.
Yeah, Jacoby fucks him.
Yeah.
Oh, fucks him.
It's a fucking.
He fucks him worse than those blokes fuck their kids with those names. Jacoby's in because Reyes he's done, mate. His chin's dust.
Yeah, dust.
His chin is dust.
Dust.
And then it's Jared Cannonier versus Nasruddin Imavov. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me the odds there, Matthew?
What do you think the odds are?
Imavov, I reckon, maybe slight favourite.
Yeah, $1.74.
Yep.
Versus $2.10 for the Canadian cheese.
Beautiful, beautiful. I reckon Imavov for mine.
Yep. And we've got a 10-leg multi. Oh, my God. This is fate.
Mm-hmm.
This is fate.
Yep.
This 10-leg multi is paying $316.
Stone Cold Steve
It's the
Austin.
Stone Cold multi,
That's
the
the
Steve
Stone
Austin
Cold
multi.
stunner.
Put your $250 on.
Stone Cold Stunner.
We always say that, $250.
Stone Cold.
$79,127.34, Makeo Shark, and that is
Whack that on the mortgage.
it's a mortgage mauler. We say it every week.
Yep. That'll mortgage maul your jocks off.
Now I've been wrapped with today. Actually, sorry, I lie. I lie to the listeners. I've not been wrapped with the pay-per-view. Not been wrapped with
Good
what I had
pod,
to. Been wrapped with sitting in here with you. Wrapped with Coco. Wrapped with everything to do with this show. But I haven't got much else, Makeo Shark.
Not for
I've
me
enjoyed
either,
it,
to be
thoroughly.
honest. I think it's just everyone out there, if you like what you see here, we bust our gut, bust our hump
Yes.
every week.
We also have, just sorry to jump in, we've forgotten about the Pereira.
We've got Pereira coming up. Live Alex Pereira, Powhatan, Stonehands.
Stonehands.
In Australia,
The greatest
live
t-shirt
shows.
you've ever seen.
We've got the shirts. They're the best shirts
Posters.
ever. Coco, did you see them? My God, these shirts are good. Get on our website.
Coco
Get
one.
on our Instagram.
Yep.
Subscribe.
Gotta like and follow, don't
Like, follow, subscribe,
I don't know many
comment,
people
share.
that would not want a beer. You come and show me that you've done it. You get a beer.
We need it, mate. We need everything to get, mate. We need it.
It's
ridiculous, mate. That's another good app, I reckon. So I reckon we
I'm
just
wrapped. We've been cheesing a lot today.
cheer that off, mate.
With the mouthful of Mexico,
Beautiful, delicious
to the
liquid.
listeners, we love you.
Who the fuck is that guy?